Hey, Brian from Snake Bites here. You know what? A lot of our viewers ask us what our favorite animals are. So today, me and my crew are going to go around and show you a few of our cool animals. And at the same time, we're going to show you some animals that are requested by our viewers. So stay tuned. You're watching Snake Bites. Requests from viewers, especially down in Australia, to see some of the cool Aussie pythons we work with. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite Aussie pythons. This is definitely a great animal. These are actually Woma pythons, and I'm telling you what, these are some of the tamest and greatest pets that you'll ever have. Just look how beautiful that snake is. This is another Australian python, and I gotta tell you, these are definitely one of my favorites because they're a bread-like carpet python, and they're really beautiful. They have that rust color. They're really tame for a carpet python. If you can see, they have a really cool blue tongue when they flicker it. You can kind of see, and they always are just really great animals. This is another Australian python. It's actually a carpet python, but they call it a jaguar carpet. Definitely one of my favorite snakes because look at just how beautiful yellow, and the pattern is just unbelievable. These guys are a codominant mutation and just incredible animals.
Okay, hi, my name's Trav, and right over here is one of my favorite animals in the shop. Choose. The big hairy beast. This here is a hypo white-sided Brooks king snake, and it's one of my favorite animals in the shop just because it's got really nice colors and pattern and everything.
Hey, this is Choose. One of my favorite animals at BHB is my pet rat. His name's Sewer Rat. He's a big, old, fat groundhog. This is a plebwin. One of my favorite snakes. I have about 600 I have to raise every year. That's probably why it's my favorite. I feed them, water them, talk to them, put them to bed, yell at them when they're bad, so on, so on.
Another request that a lot of viewers make are my favorite ball python morphs. I'm going to show you one right now. This is actually a kingpin ball python. This is a pinstripe and a lesser platinum combination. This is a camo ball python. This is actually a super chocolate pinstripe. I tell you, I just love it. It's something about this makes it one of my favorite ball pythons. Just the color is fantastic. This is just a cool animal. Definitely one of my favorites. This is a caramel albino pinstripe. We worked on this project for about 6 years before we finally produced the first caramel pinstripe. Just a truly outrageous animal.
This is Wild. This is Xanthic pinstripe. This is an awesome snake because there's probably only 2 in existence. And it's just a wicked snake. I love it. Okay, here's an albino Pac-Man frog. These guys are awesome. I've always liked albinos, just because they got voracious appetites. They get really big. This is a juvenile female, but they're just great. I've always loved them.
What I've got here is a ghost black pastel. Really one of the coolest animals and probably one of the favorite animals that I produced last year. I tell you what, this thing is just crazy how cool it's looking. As it's getting bigger, it's better and better. This is a citrus pastel calico. This is my favorite snake I actually bought last year. I just can't wait to see what some of the mutations that I breed this into will come up with. This is a snow hognose snake. We produced the very first ones last year, and this is actually it. The very first ever snow hog. Definitely one of my favorite snakes.
My name's Cal. This is one of my favorite snakes. Its name's Kinks Lynx. It's a caramel albino. It was actually really kinked and on its deathbed, but I force-fed it for a month, and now she's a big sausage and eats perfectly fine, so that's my favorite snake. It's another one of my favorite snakes, the Jag Ball. I took this one under my care, started pumping him with some rats, and he's looking good. I love the pattern on him.
Hi, my name's Erin, and this is one of my favorite snakes. This is a albino Burmese python. This is one of my favorites because they get big and they're pretty easy to handle if you're into large snakes. This is an albino ball python. This is one of my favorites because of the color mutations. I'm kind of a sucker for albinos.
You know what, another request from a viewer was to show some of my big snakes, and you know what, this is definitely one of my favorite big snakes. I've had this girl since she was about 12 inches. She's now about 15 foot. She weighs about 150 pounds. She's an African rock python, and I tell you what, she's just a fantastic animal. I love her to death. I've had her for a long time, and I'm sure I'll have her for the rest of her life. Hey, so there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the animals here at BHB. And you know what? If you're a reptile fanatic and can't get enough of a reptile fix, you need to tune into Reptile Radio. It's Saturday nights at midnight. It's an hour-long radio show that talks about everything about reptiles. So you know what? I'll see you next time.